Judge, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Hi, Judge. Can you hear me?
Who was that?
Corey.
Oh, Corey. I'm assigned.
Hi, good morning. Sorry, I'm using my iPad base.
Okay, good. Good morning, Miss Lindsay. Good morning, Mr. Hargis. Did everybody get a copy of the policies and procedures that I put out?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about anything or any of the things that I put in there?
I was having trouble opening it, but I think I saw them where you posted them, but let's see. Were you guys all able to view those?
Yes.
Well, it's not all inclusive, but it was at least meant to give people an idea about what to do when they're going to proceed in court through Zoom. And there we have Ms. Patino as well. One of the things that I had suggested is that when you can also tell your customers when they sign on, they need to put their real name, because none of us can see what that person is identifying themselves. Like you'll see me with Judge Phyllis Martinez Gonzalez. Iris is under my name as well because we use the same license. So it's really important that you use your real name when you sign on. And I think sometimes if you're on a phone, it's going to ask you for your phone ID or your phone name, and that's where you put that information in.
Okay.
So one of the things that I wanted us to kind of go over was the breakout rooms. What I anticipate us using the breakout rooms for is to give you an opportunity to speak with your customers, for lawyers to speak in private with their clients. And so, and also there's a lot of family violence cases that we work with. And so to kind of, if we need to separate parties in a virtual capacity, this will allow us to do that as well. And I'm still kind of learning as we go along. So, so bear with me. How many of you have already participated in a Zoom hearing? Kaufman. Okay. That's it. I know Ms. Sines has. Okay.
Yes, I hope so.
All righty. So what I'm going to do for this first one is just, and I don't, Elizabeth, were you able to upload some of the Zoom so you can share the screen share?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm on the device today, but I should be able to do it, no problem.
If you can just show us what that looks like before I put people in break rooms, because what I also want to know is that if we have a break room, let's say we have the public defender and an AG, and you're showing them some exhibits, or even the custodial parent, you're showing them some exhibits, that's how you're going to be utilizing that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get a document just so we can share it. And so if you guys are going to use your iPad, then you're going to need to probably save it. I think the best thing to do is save it as a photo after you email it. So,
Can everybody hear Miss Edwards?
No.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody, but leave Miss Edwards unmuted. So I'm gonna mute all. Okay, and then I'm going to unmute Miss Edwards. Okay, Miss Edwards, you have the floor.
So I think the other day I did this with the judge, and I used my, sorry, my face is like right there. I used my computer and I was able to screen share pretty much anything on the computer. So like I could pull up Athena and it could just go pull it from the secondary screen. I'm using my laptop and then I'm using my portable monitor. So that's pretty straightforward and easy. Today I'm on my iPad to see how that works, because that's what I think you guys are going to be using for the most part. And so it looks like most of the options are going to be like from yeah, photos or Teams. And so let me see if I can just take a photo of something, for instance. And so this is just a document. Let's see if I don't screw this up. Okay, so. And so I'm going to click on share content, screen, photos. Oops.
We lost
For
them.
some reason, we're recording, right?
Yes, we are.
Everything on your screen.
So when you're having a hearing and it's being recorded and it's live streamed, is it still going to allow you to do that?
That's what I'm trying to see.
Gotcha. Okay, this is a learning. We're all learning together.
Okay.
All righty.
So I just took a picture of something that was, you know, on my emails, but so you could take a picture of Athena, or you could take a picture of whatever you need to introduce. But can you guys see that screen?
I can see it.
And so I think, right. And so you're even able to go in and, like, let's say I want to draw the court's attention to this second case, you know, I could do something like that. So you have a little pen on the bottom left-hand side, and you can highlight certain things. And I can even put up a whiteboard.
So when you're getting income information and things of that nature, you're going to do the same thing?
Yes.
And will it be pre-marked as States Exhibit 1, 2, 3, ABC?
It should be, because my intention is that we e-file it the day before, if not before the day before. And when we e-file it, we should be marking it as an exhibit.
Okay, so if I were to put 4 of you in a break room, would you still be able to do this with lawyers if you're conferring and without being in front of the judge?
I believe so. So Iris and I tested it on Friday, and it didn't change when we were in the break room.
Okay, so let me put a few of you in different break rooms. That way you kind of get an idea about how I would put add a room, open all rooms. Okay, so I have 2 break rooms, just so you can get a good idea about how it would be when you're negotiating. Let's see, I'm gonna, break room 1 will be Mr. Hargis. I'm gonna put Elizabeth. There's Miss Patino, I see. I can't hear you. No, you're, oh, everybody's unmuted. You're right. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me unmute all.
Okay, I've missed half of this meeting because of connection problems.
All right.
So can you guys tell when I'm frozen?
I don't think so, unless,
There's no way you can tell that I have missed a hearing.
Yes, when, like right now, I knew you were gone.
Okay,
So if it was a hearing, then I would stop and try to get Iris to connect with you.
Okay,
And we would hold everything.
okay,
We
so,
wouldn't continue anything.
so the little that I saw, there was a mention of e-filing exhibits before the hearing.
Right. Because we were taught, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And when those are e-filed, are they gonna be filed with the district clerk? Is that what you mean by e-filing?
Yes, I believe that's what she intended.
Okay, well, I have a problem with that because that is introducing evidence before it's been actually admitted or introduced at a hearing. So I don't believe we should be e-filing exhibits before we've even had a hearing. I don't think it's proper.
Okay, well, Viv, I would definitely bring that up to Miss Edwards. She's in a breakout room right now.
Right. And you know what? She's in the breakout room that I assigned you to. So if you want to
Okay.
join, you can do that.
Georgette, while I have you there, the only thing I can think of that would make it legit is for the AG's office to file an exhibit list. You know how in civil practice you file your witness list and your exhibit list before trial?
Yeah.
That's the only way I think it would work is as if we were doing a civil trial and so much time ahead of time, we have to do that.
I mean, that seems reasonable to me.
I think that's more than reasonable.
Yeah.
So I just don't want all of a sudden the district clerk's file has exhibits, and I'm not saying, well, it could be on a de novo, it could be on an appeal. All of a sudden, we don't know why the heck they're in the file.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, these connection problems, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got off of Cisco and went unsecured, and let's see how that works, which is another reason I wanted us to do this.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have 2 breakout rooms with several people in it.
Okay.
Just so, and I wanted Miss Edwards to kind of show some of you about how they would screen share their exhibit
Yeah.
without the court knowing what's going on.
All right. So you put me in a breakout room?
It should, yeah, you just have to join.
Go, Viv, at the bottom, with the 3 little dots where it says more, click on that one.
Sorry. And got it.
I might put all of you in a breakout room.
Yes, Mr. Juan, sorry, we're having a little Zoom training.
Oh, okay. Hi, good to see you. Is the judge here?
No, she's on. She's over here. You want to see her?
I can hear him,
She can hear you.
Hi,
but
Judge.
live stream, good morning.
Wow, you look so professional.
We're live streaming on YouTube.
Hi, Mr. Juan.
Hi, Judge. I'll let you go back to work.
Okay.
Good seeing you.
It's always good seeing you, sir. Up to your family. Oh, he left.
Yeah, door shut.
Okay, so I put everybody in a breakout room too.
Okay.
So what breakout rooms are not going to be live streamed or recorded clearly because it's just you and myself. We're being recorded
We are. We're live on YouTube.
and we're live on YouTube. Okay. So we'll let them talk a little bit.
Okay. I look like I'm in
But
the
I
loop.
will agree, that is a concern that I had. They're going to have a list. Because you want to give everybody a heads up.
Mhm.
Okay, so, we didn't create breakout rooms before the meeting,
I know.
and I wanted to do that. But so let's say they're in a breakout room and I want to make more breakout rooms. I can add another breakout room, no?
No, thank you, Mr. Juan.
Do I have
Okay.
that ability? While they're in session, can I make other breakout rooms?
I think you can.
Because all I have here is an option to close all rooms. But let's say we have people coming in.
Yeah, like you should have the option since I'm still, well, maybe because I'm the host with you.
We're both the hosts.
Mhm.
Let me see.
Good question.
So let me do a broadcast. Well, let me give him a few minutes because I want to see the iPad. Who's the new AG. What was her name again?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, Miss Brooklyn.
Sorry, Judge, I'm gonna mute myself really quickly. It's the 383rd District Court.
Tell Judge H I said hello.
I'll be right back, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Juan, Ray just called up looking for you. Hey, just letting you know. Alrighty.
Of course, the whole world just heard you.
You really, I should have muted myself.
I think I put a broadcast that said broadcast a message to all saying that they have 5 more minutes.
Okay.
From 7:17. So then if I were to do that with it's a broadcast message to all. I wonder if I can do a broadcast message per individual breakout rooms. For instance, if we have multiple hearings and, if we have 3 sessions with 3 cases, one each, and I'm ready to hear the first case, can I just do a broadcast message to breakout room 1, but not the other breakout rooms?
Let's try it. Well, you have 2 different breakout rooms, don't you?
I know, but it's just me, myself, and I in the breakout room 1.
Oh, oh, let me join. Hold on.
I don't think you can because we're together on this. No? Yeah, no. Okay, so we're back. So I
This
guess,
is very user friendly.
well, but you're not the one doing the breakout room.
I know, but no, that's your job, Judge, Miss Vanna. No, but I'm saying like as a party, like a pro se party, it's pretty easy to maneuver.
Okay, well, and I hope it is.
We just need to get in, I guess, familiar with what screens they're seeing so we can guide them if they're having issues.
Okay, why are you all dark?
Because of the sun, when I put a little bit of shade,
You don't want everybody to see you?
I look like I'm in witness protection. Yeah, I don't know how to shade myself.
And you have light on,
There we
right?
go.
The light, your office. Okay, there you go. You're so pretty. All right, so has 5 minutes passed? No, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what they can be. They're just getting a hang of the breakout rooms now.
Right, but I want to do several breakout rooms so that they can see that they're going to have different breakout. So when I have like one cause number with 2 parties, that's going to be one breakout room with 1 AG and any lawyers that are associated with that one. If we have a breakout session room 2, then that one's going to be that party and the other AAG that's assigned. Breakout session number 3, same thing.
Mm-hmm. So something you can probably pull them out of this one. I think they're done.
Well, I said 20 minutes, so, so let me, so I'm going to close out, I'll close out rooms right now. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah, you see a little screen. Do you have the option to leave it before it ends?
Do I?
Well, when you're a participant in a breakout room?
Okay. Otherwise they're just
Longest minute ever, huh?
right. Okay. Because my whole thing is, can they pass out exhibits, show people what they're talking about when they're negotiating, and then when they admit it, offer it, but that's only when we have a hearing.
Mhm.
So their breakout session should be out. I closed it on them.
Roll them out.
Roll them out. Okay, so here they come.
There we go.
Okay, well,
Okay, Viv's frozen.
I don't see her at all. Let's do gallery view.
Iris, you're like on
Witness protection.
like when, you know, we just need to get your voice.
It's the way the sun. Yeah.
Miss Patino Miss Patino, I don't know if I couldn't hear anything. And so Iris,
Yeah,
were y'all saying bad things about me that way just to make sure if I couldn't hear you?
no, she's just letting me know that she had been ex parteing you left and right without.
Yeah, right. Okay, but you know what? Miss Patino brought up a good point, and it was also concern for me too. Oh, she can't hear me.
oh, yeah, I can. I
Oh.
just want to say something
Okay, go ahead.
about what we have agreed to. It works. It works to put us in a breakout room. We just went into a breakout room like we were negotiating. Elizabeth shared the FINA, right? What
Okay.
would be essentially the FINA.
Fina, okay.
I look at it. Oh, there is a glitch. Okay. I look at it. I talk to my client. My client says, no, I have possession credits. I jump back into the breakout room. I tell Elizabeth, okay, at this point, Judge, you haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything.
So then we start the hearing.
Okay, so do you feel like, let's do a couple of breakout rooms and you as the public defender need to go back and forth?
I want to try that, but we're back to the question of why did you want the documents ahead of time?
Because, well, it's not for me to view. It's for the AG or the party to have it ready so that everybody can have access to it. Because let's say you have a lawyer who doesn't do the Zoom share. So how are you going to get it? But if they're making a list of everything, it's no different than you're listing your exhibits. Is somebody coming in? No.
Well, and then I guess that's the question, because when you do your exhibit list, all you do is the exhibit list. You don't attach the documents. And so maybe that's a waste of time.
Yeah, because you're not going to see. You won't see what the documents have.
Right.
Okay, so then what's going to happen? She does a screen share in break room 1 with you. How are you going to show that same document to your client?
That was the glitch we need to figure out right now.
Well, I don't have an opposition. Like when we're dealing with attorneys and stuff and we're at the hearing, I guess some of my other concern is like, let's say I e-file an exhibit, right?
Okay.
Or even email it to parties and it has confidential information in it. And then I end up like defaulting them. Like now we just have to be extra careful that we're not releasing confidential data unnecessarily. And so like
why would you release confidence? Why is it no different than the evidence you're going to produce at trial? Why are you giving?
Well, this is mostly AOPs.
I have a question. Whenever I offer an AOP on a family violence case, I offer it for in-camera inspection only. So is there a way to just offer it for the judge to view like during the hearing? Like in-camera inspection?
Well, I think the problem with that is that technically we should be entering them as exhibits, regardless of whether they have confidential data on them. I know that we don't, but I'm not sure if that really is compliant with the statutory requirements. But I also don't want to like email it. You don't have to, especially when someone might not even appear.
The Zoom share is really a nice feature. So from your perspective, Ms. Patino, what what was, other than the exhibit, what else did you find that would be a little bit of more glitches?
Well, one is, should not be filed before we have the hearing with the district clerk. That's one thing. The second thing is, how do I share that? If Elizabeth has shared it in a negotiation with me, and I don't have my client in that breakout room, but I now want to speak privately with my client and view that document.
And I think that was part of the reason why for the e-file beforehand, but if we can come up with a different solution, I'm open to that.
Can I email it to you?
Okay, she was frozen.
Okay, I got you back.
Yeah, we got you back. Go ahead.
Could we email it to you at that point?
Did you hear what I said though, Ms. Patino?
So,
Okay, what I had said was that part of you having something to show your client was a concern that I had. And that was part of the reason for the e-filing or the emailing for you to get that document somehow. But if there's a different solution, then I'm all for it, because the whole point is to get you that information so that you can share it with your client. The things that are going to be.
and emailing works, I think.
Ms. Edwards, you were saying something about an email?
Well, they were having the hearing or we're negotiating, and Ms. Patino, like her client says, oh, there's direct payments and they need to review the FINA in more details privately. I'm not opposed to us emailing it to you at that point.
And why don't you want to email it to me ahead of time? The day before?
Because I have to email it to everybody, I think.
Well,
And it starts to become a concern with like contact information and things like that.
well, a mom has every right to see it,
Exactly.
just as I
Right,
do.
I'm got all of my exhibits that we would potentially file. The FINA itself doesn't necessarily concern me at all.
Okay.
Now, whether or not I have mom's contact information to email it to her is a different question. But hopefully we would if we're doing a Zoom hearing. But I guess my issue is anything else that we might file or share.
I don't see the problem. You got an AOP, it's going to be introduced into evidence. I have the right to see it. Client, has the right to see it. You guys can work something out with family violence cases.
And that was another concern why I wanted it to be either e-filed or emailed before the hearing, because when you have someone who is going to have a hearing, so far the ones that we've had, they're usually on a phone, it's in front of them. They don't have the ability to kind of go back and forth. I mean, think about the connection problems we're having, and we're just having a discussion.
I guess my concern is like, if they don't have an email, how am I going to get it to them? I just don't send it to them.
If you have their phone number, take a picture of it and send it to them.
Snapshot, yeah, screenshot or something.
No, I have had clients take pictures of their signatures. They send it to me. I print it up. I attach it to an order.
I've signed orders that way.
Just take a picture of it. There is no box, people. I'm not asking you to think outside the box. I'm asking, there is no box. Come on, come up with ideas.
Well, no, I mean, email was one of the ones that we talked about for sure. And I said we can do it if we need to.
Other than FINAs and AOPs, what else?
Income information.
Income information.
Genetic test results.
No, test results are on file.
If they file them, but sometimes they're not pre-filed.
Test results not filed yet. Okay, what else?
What else?
Wait, I
TDCJ.
have a question.
What's that, Doug?
Oh, the TDCJ in offender information documents, just to prove up dad's in jail, how long he's going to be there, why he's there.
Aside from the statutory requirement, to file DNA results, what's the difference, Viv, in your opinion, of having the DNA test results e-filed prior to a hearing, and not being, as opposed to the FINA or any other documents that you're saying that you do not want filed because it's in essence admitting evidence, or having the evidence as part of the record prior to the hearing? Just curious.
Because, why am I okay with the paternity test results? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
other than the statutory requirement, but what is it?
Well, that's why.
Okay.
I mean, there are some things that you can attach a business record to. You can file some things ahead of time, but some things you can't. Medical records 10 days before trial, that kind of stuff.
Right. But those are all the things that we have to think about, because those are the kind of hearings we're going to have for at least the next 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, if email is the best solution, we're not opposed to that. Certainly we'll do that if that's what everyone wants to do.
And it's not a one fix for all. If there's different things that you can use to get that information to the parties to a case, then you're going to need to do that.
And
Yeah, I understand from my perspective as well. I'm trying to standardize this somewhat for the AGs and give them some right.
So Elizabeth, when you screen share with me in a breakout room, can I capture that and screen share it with my client?
My understanding is you can screenshot anything you want. Like you could screenshot us talking right now with a picture.
Okay, Judge, put us in a breakout.
I don't know about Ron.
Okay,
I'm in a breakout room. Me and Elizabeth, you guys can keep talking. And I want to see her share and see if I can capture it.
I'm going to assign breakout room 3.
Oh, have you?
That's Miss Edwards, Miss Patino. Breakout.
Let me try to see if I can do a FINA.
And
Get fancy.
put another AG in there just so that someone else can see you.
Okay.
Put a couple of you guys in there. Okay, so there's a handful of you guys. And let me open it. Okay, I forgot that part. So it's just us again?
Yeah, it's because I don't know what it is, but as soon as you open up a breakout room, it gives everybody the option to join a breakout room. So I think they all saw the little message, because even I saw it, but I just chose not to join.
Okay. So I wonder if we do the pre-assigned breakout rooms before we do the hearing, will that take care of that?
I'm not too sure.
Because I really don't want parties to have to, I don't want them to go back and forth. There was an option that said exchange, and I don't really know what that means.
Exchange.
Right. When it said I have the option to move one person to a different breakout room.
Okay.
But when I opened up, when I added rooms, there was another option that it said exchange, but I don't know what that means.
Should we just try it?
Well, and now I don't have that option.
Well, maybe with Elizabeth seems to be pretty familiar with Zoom.
Well, I mean, we're all learning as we go. But
let me see if I join. Yeah, I'm gonna try to join a breakout room. I know it'll just be me by myself, but
okay, well, join breakout room 4. That's empty. Or no, join well, I'm on.
It doesn't give me an option. It just says join breakout room.
Okay.
Am I assigned to anything, I wonder?
Well, I don't know, because we're together, so I don't know what that means.
Okay, so when I click on it, it says join breakout room number 1.
That's where I'm at too. Do you want us to join?
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see what happens.
But it doesn't give me the exchange. When I was adding rooms, hold on, let me go back here, breakout rooms. No, see, it doesn't even allow me to add anymore. Oh, I made this way too big.
Unless you want to just wait till we get some more people in here and then we'll go back again and try it.
Okay. I hope the AGs are screen sharing or screening or something. Okay.
There's an option for file transfer. I don't know what that means.
Where do you see that?
Oh, it's under general settings, but no, it's locked by the admin. Never mind.
You know, and I need to work with this, the share screen option as well. Okay, so let's get out. Are we in?
No, we're in the main session.
Okay.
Oh, remove participants.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to go with me to general settings while you're while we're waiting for them.
General, I don't, where do you even see that?
It doesn't say general settings. It just says settings on the side, on the Zoom little side, on the left-hand side.
No.
When you go, not here on this video screen, but like the actual Zoom website, maybe.
What will it kick us out?
I'm viewing it right now because you know what? It's under my Google Chrome and not Zoom. Oh, we can play with it right now. But it's already checkmarked what I'm looking at. So we should have, what it says is breakout room. Allow hosts to split meeting participants into separate, smaller rooms. And that's checked. Allow hosts to assign participants to breakout rooms when scheduling.
When you're scheduling it.
Yeah, but how would I know who's going to be in there if I don't have their names?
Well, I mean, for any given party, you know, you have at least 3 because you have 2 respondents and you have the petitioner, which is the AG. So that's one set. That's one breakout room. I mean, every case will have at least 1 breakout room, possibly 2. I would say probably assign 2 breakout rooms per hearing at the very least, unless you want to do 3 rooms per hearing to go back and forth. One for each, and then one for the whole, all of them. I hate not knowing what's going on. I'm gonna give them 5 more minutes.
Do you know what CSV means?
What? Really?
Import CSV requirements, breakout room name. No, I don't know what that is.
You have 5 minutes. I don't like knowing what's, because I need to spell correctly.
So I'm trying to add a breakout room. It says assign participants to breakout rooms by adding their email. You can create up to 50 breakout rooms and assign up to a total of 200 participants.
But that's doing it before you even schedule?
Uh-huh. And I would need their email address.
Well, we're not going to know that.
No. No bueno. Because not even with AG, we don't know what AG is going to be handling the hearings.
No. I guess when we play with it, when we include more dockets, more cases, then we're going to know what's working and what's not working.
Mm-hmm.
I did a broadcast message, 5 minutes. It's 11:40. I don't know if I'm going to give them really 5 minutes or pretend 5 minutes.
Let's do a pretend 5 minutes.
Because right now this is, and how do oh, I guess I can always include myself. I'm not including myself in a breakout room. What else can you think of?
Really, it's just getting the hang of them going to like, okay, so let's say there's family violence and there's one AG working on the parties, so they go to 2 different breakout rooms. Same thing with like Viv with the PD.
Well, and that's what I was hoping they would do right now. Like, okay, they need to go back and forth and do some what's it called? Share screening with each other. If they need to do a snapshot and then go back to another room, because this is very time consuming when we're doing it, when we're taking up the court's time and the docket time.
Like we've already been on here for 42 minutes. I say take them out of the breakout room, Judge. They can discuss whatever they're discussing.
It's only been 2 minutes. I gave them 5. I have to keep my word.
That's true. Okay.
Drink my coffee. You know, and then for the enhanced service docket, if we're going to have a breakout room for DRO and a breakout room for, did the Center Against Family Violence say they were going to be there?
I don't think she did.
I don't think so. Maybe on call. Then they're always going to be in a breakout room. And if somebody was calling in, it would come up as the participant, right? If they're trying to call in, like let's say right now we have a lawyer who couldn't, they had technical difficulties and they want to call in. If they call in, we should be getting them as a participant.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have a lawyer who was trying to call in right now.
Oh, really? Oh, Corey.
She get bumped out. Did you get bumped out? Miss Sines?
Hi, Judge. Sorry, I got kicked out.
Okay, you did. You got kicked out. Okay, so are you able to, have you screen shared? Have you practiced screen sharing?
That's what we were trying right now. And when I was trying to do that, it's when I got kicked out.
It's weird. Okay, so what breakout room were you in? Well, I was going to kick everybody out in 2 minutes.
I was with Georgette and Lindsay and Brooklyn.
Okay, so because I was telling Iris also, yeah, you're gonna, because you're the ones who's going to screen share. You've got the documents, but if you're going to give it to a lawyer, how are they going to get it to their people and then going back and forth to breakout rooms?
Yeah, hearing's going to take forever.
Yeah. Y'all are trying to negotiate some of these cases, right?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Okay. That'll be helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and close all the rooms. Let's give them 60 seconds.
So I think about staffing, we're going to need maybe a couple of attorneys at least if we're going to be setting 5 cases a session.
Well, fortunately, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to ease into it, right? What did we do? 3?
3. I still think we need a couple of attorneys.
Well, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, particularly, Your Honor, for the ESD docket. I don't know how that's going to go.
Well, Iris and I went over the docket, and the morning we broke it down from 12 to 6. No, I'm sorry. Did we do it 12 to 6?
We did. The 8:30.
We did everything in half from 12 to 6, 8 to 4, and I think we're going to keep the last 6. I think. And we're going to have sessions of 3 cases each session.
Okay.
We're going to try to keep it simple.
So,
okay, so the broadcast, were y'all able to see the broadcast when I said you've got 5 more minutes?
Yes.
Okay, so when I don't know what's happening, and so if I need to bring you back in, then I will do 5 more minutes and I'm going to call you back into the court. That's what's typically going to happen. Whatever just happened for you guys now, that's what I'm going to do to you. So I don't know if it was like
Great.
a countdown, but we lost one lawyer.
We lost Viviana.
We lost Miss Patino. Yeah.
I was gonna also mention that you guys have the option to chat. So you can send messages to me, like let's say you want to go to, sorry Viv, I know you're just logging on. I was gonna tell everybody about the option of chatting. So if you guys want to send me a message saying you guys want to go to a breakout room or you need to come out or whatever message you want to relay to the court, you can do so through chat.
Okay,
But
so Judge, I think we figured out how to share the FINA.
okay, good.
We played with that. Now, could you put me in a breakout room with just somebody, I don't care, Georgette, Doug, somebody who's my client, and I want to share with that person privately the FINA?
Okay, so I'm going to make Mr. Hargis your client. And I'm going to just have a breakout room with just you and Mr.
Okay,
Hargis.
let's
Okay,
try that.
breakout room 4. Breakout room 4, Mr. Hargis.
It's not showing up.
Hold on, it's better there.
I'm joining. I'll see you there.
Okay, so we can do another breakout room to try to chat with you, Iris, to see if like Georgette is with somebody like, okay, I need to speak to the custodial parent, or now I need to go speak to the non-custodial parent because of this family violence case. Okay, so if I have, let me have breakout room. I can't make any more.
It's asking me if I want to join their breakout room.
Me too.
Whose breakout room?
There's.
It's asking me if I want to join breakout room number 2.
Okay, so hold on. Let me put Lindsay. Okay, so I have 3 people in breakout room 2. That's going to include Georgette, iPad, and Ms. Lindsay. And then breakout room 3 is Mr. Doug and Elizabeth Edwards. Okay, so go ahead and join those and then try to see if you can chat with Iris so that I can move you. But Iris, can you move them unless I make you host, right?
Yes, unless you make me host, Judge.
And then let me put Ms. Signs to breakout room 3.
I'm still here.
Okay. You don't have to join, but what we're trying to do is just see if they're in the breakout rooms and negotiating with somebody and they need to move to another breakout room, if they can chat, use the chat function to chat with Iris so that Iris can move you or tell me to move you.
Yeah.
Without,
They just need to get used to it. There's a little
you just
bit
need to
of
play with it. You just got, you just need to play with it. But
because I just can't, like, part of it is I can't find the name button.
But on the phone, is it just as easy as it is? I'm trying to think for the customers that you have, and it's a phone. Is it pretty easy? Is it user friendly?
To be honest with you, I've never done it on my phone.
Okay.
Corey said she was going to play with it, so I don't know if she had the opportunity this weekend. I encouraged her. I said, yeah, that's a good idea, because I know Judge and I were talking about that.
Yeah.
So we can ask her. I don't know if she had the opportunity.
Let me
But
see.
I mean, it's good. I think Viviana's a little nervous about, maybe not nervous, but like, wants to make sure we've got it pat. And so it's good because then the AGs are getting practice because they're like, well, I think I got it. And she's like, no, you need to get it. Like,
well, and the truth of the matter is that we're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. And we just need to have, exercise a little bit of patience, and we'll get through it.
They, we still screw up our regular hearings.
No comment. No,
I can say that. I can say that.
But no, as long as everybody's willing to
try
move
it
forward, yeah.
No, and I think they're all very receptive and willing. Like Viviana and playing with it, she's like, "Oh, this is really neat. And yeah, this works. So
Well, and some people are kind of apprehensive about going into this little breakout room, thinking that it might be like some sort of abyss that you're not going to return. And you'll return. You'll come back. I'll bring you back.
Okay, I'm trying to log on through my phone, so let me admit myself.
Okay, you're entering the waiting room. Okay. Okay, but I didn't invite
And
you.
I know I joined
how long,
with the ID.
Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, what?
sorry. I don't know how long we're anticipating today. I have an interview at 1, so I gotta run.
Okay. Yeah,
like-
no, I was trying to, I mean, I want us to end in the next 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless the AGs want to play around with it, but I'm hungry.
Judge, will you assign me
Me
a breakout,
too.
What do you want me to assign you to, Iris?
to a breakout room? I don't know if you, Elizabeth, assigned myself and Elizabeth to a breakout
I'm
room.
gonna assign you to breakout room 2. Elizabeth is to breakout room 3, but she doesn't want to join.
It didn't ask me. We're doing Zoom interviews.
Okay, good.
So
So
2
you're a
AGs
pro.
for
Okay.
2 AGs for 6.
Or what?
2 for 806.
All right.
Hopefully, I mean,
Very nice.
we'll see.
Very, very nice.
All of a sudden they went from like fully staffed or like the biggest, to 2 AGs.
Iris, we're going over the dockets and Iris will be sending out those invites for Zoom hearings next week.
Okay.
So I'm trying to, okay, so I can leave breakout room.
Oh, I did have one follow-up question before we leave.
Did you want it in private or you want it
I
recorded?
mean, it's just I actually having to check, but
I
on
can't
the
hear you.
CSRPs, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On the CSRPs, I've been reading the statute over and over and over again, because typically we filed them prior to you signing them.
Right. You don't necessarily have to.
And that's what I was thinking. And so like my thought now is that when we do start doing them, which we should any day now, because we're working on that e-notary process, that we could just send them directly to you before filing them for signature. Because I read the statute that we don't have to e-file them first.
I think that was a process that was in place long before I was even appointed and, just sort of never changed. But no, you're right. It's not necessary.
Okay.
It's not necessary. The only reason why I would think you would want to do that is by operation of law, a CSRP would be, an agreed CSRP would be in order within 3 days of you filing it. That would be the only reason I would think that you would want to do that.
Right. Although we don't have that issue here, and between that, we're not really. I think that we're holding on to that for some courts that don't sign after like really extended amounts of time, but it's not a concern here.
Well, shouldn't be.
Yeah. But good. Because I read that.
I don't have, Iris, can you think of anything? I know it was just a process that was in place. Is that a Starbucks?
Maybe. Yes, it is.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked with the Starbucks. Okay, Iris, what?
I can't think of anything.
Wow. And in my face.
Judge, I'm here at the office facing all the dangers of COVID-19. I had to treat myself before I came in.
Okay, for the record, if anybody's actually listening, she did that on her own. I told her not to go to the office. But if you had to go, just go once a week. I guess you deserve a Starbucks.
Thank you, Judge.
But that sure looks good.
I'm sure you social distanced.
Huh?
I'm sure you social distanced.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't talk to anybody.
Is that why we have the black witness effect?
No, that's just the way the window is my computer. And I can't hook it up any other way because the cords are really tight over here.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But no, going back to the CSRPs, there's no reason for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had forever thought that it had to be done that way, and then was thinking, why?
It's the way that they were doing things here in El Paso, and so the whole reason, just cause.
Yeah. That's why we do most things.
Yeah, just cause. That's the way we've always done it.
Because that's what the person who retired 35 years ago told me to do.
Yes. But I'm excited about continuing our hearings.
Yes.
Our other courts are doing this as well, right?
Yeah. So the
That's what I
district
thought.
court, yeah, the district courts are doing.
That's
for
what I
sure.
thought.
And then TR emailed me
Okay.
Friday.
Good.
But that he wants to start with May 17th,
Okay.
which is a little further down the road than so we'll see.
Well, if he needs help, we're here to help him. We're here to help any of the judges or court coordinators out there,
Thank you.
of course.
To share your, I figured I just had to resave your document for whatever reason.
Iris can send it to you again.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
Did you do some screen sharing?
So Judge, that's the issue. Last week when I had hearings with you, I was using my laptop and the functionality is a lot different between the laptop setting and then the iPad setting. And in my opinion, the iPad, it's going to be, excuse me, really cumbersome to share documents. Whereas on the laptop, I could save it, on my desktop, or I could pull it up, as you mentioned earlier, on Odyssey, and I could share it right away. But for whatever reason on my iPad, when I'm trying to share content, even sharing my screen, I couldn't even do that.
Okay.
So the way I did it right now, because I'm on the photo.
You did what, Elizabeth? I'm sorry.
And so I did the photo. So I just took a screenshot, like with my camera, like on my iPad, like my home button and my top button.
Oh.
And did that. Yeah.
So
but
I'm doing Corey's.
Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. But I think, yes. So I'm going to have to look into it and play with it a little bit more to see about the iPad functionality, because there's other options on the iPad, but they're all linked into drives. And I've been kind of clicking on them as we're talking, not working for me. So I'll look into that with some of the other regions that have been doing, one of my other contacts that was doing this a little bit longer and see. But it might be a better option if you're going to like hearing to do it with your laptop, because that was super easy. I think you could even go into Odyssey and just pull up, or, you can share the document, and it's a document that you're sharing. So like Viviana can scroll in it, the court can scroll in it. It can be multi-page. Whereas with your photo, you're a little bit limited, but let me look and see. But my recommendation right now would be that you use your computer if it's going to be something involving exhibits.
Yeah, because just having used it last week, sharing my screen, because I had a couple PDFs saved, that was super easy. But I think on an iPad, it's going to be a matter of I have to screenshot everything, and I don't.
Right.
And right now I don't even have email on my iPad, so I don't even know how I'm going to get stuff to myself.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's okay. Like we don't want you to, you can use the one on your laptop if that's better. The preference for like internet issues and things like that is the iPad and functionality as far as security. But if you have to use it on your computer, that's not a problem.
And I did find one additional functionality with the laptop that may kind of circumvent all the need for screen sharing and stuff, is I can just drag and drop documents into the chat, like full PDFs.
Oh, cool.
Like, check this out. Boom.
Where's the boom?
Hang on, that was cooler. That was cooler when I, that was cooler in my head. Let me try again.
Worked?
Okay, let's see.
Where's the chat? Do I have to pull it up? Let's see.
Yeah, it's at the bottom next to screen share.
I have to download it.
Right.
Chat.
I don't know about, people on their phones though.
And it's also to everyone. So you just sent it to everyone. I don't know, everyone that's in before the court, or even if people who are in the break rooms. I don't know. We'll have to ask when they come out.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it either.
Yeah, and I got it, but I'm on my laptop.
I got it, but maybe, yeah, it said to everyone.
If I raise my hand, does anyone see that?
Yes, ma'am. And so I try to use that with my Girl Scout meeting. So, but that's not really successful with a 8-year-old.
I know, I tell them, how do I get this mute button in real life? See, I can click on chat. Let's see. Hello,
Oh, he
Doug.
sent the whole document. He sent a PDF.
Mm-hmm. So I was able to open it.
You can choose who to send it to. Okay, look, so when I'm doing a chat, it says send to everyone or Judge Phyllis Martinez, Corey, Doug, Viv. And those are my only options. So maybe it's just sending it to the people we're looking at right now.
Right, it might
Okay.
be.
So can y'all see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I just froze and then I'm out of the meeting with John, so he's in a meeting by himself. Can you bring him?
You want to go to him or do you
No,
want?
let's go ahead and bring him back.
Okay, so
Okay.
okay, well then
Bumped him.
how about I'll just close all y'all.
Oh, y'all.
All y'all.
And then Iris,
Yes,
Joe wants to join us.
I got the message. I'm sending him the meeting ID right now.
Jay Mullen?
Yes.
Okay.
Iris, did anybody chat with you to go to one room to another?
No, ma'am.
Oh, shoot, I should have done that.
Yeah, Judge, so when I was in the breakout room, the only chat options, and again, I'm on my iPad, so it may be different.
Right, it might be.
But on my iPad, the only chat options I had were either to chat with Doug, who was in my breakout room, or to chat with everyone.
And
Oh.
we sent messages, but I don't think, if Iris didn't get them, then I don't think the breakout room can talk to the main room.
Yeah,
except
I guess
by
not.
like raising our hand or leaving it.
Okay, so because I'm just trying to figure out if I say, 5 more minutes, but you're in the middle of a negotiation and you're like, you know what, I need another 10 minutes and we're going to have an agreement or something like that. How would I know to give you that time? Is my concern in order to give you that privacy. Mr. Mullen? Connecting. Mr. Mullen?
I'm here.
Hi, hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we're finished.
Oh,
Just kidding. Agreement.
I don't
appear on the participants. Well, that's thumbs up.
Kaufman raised her hand.
Did I
But
raise-
her sessions. Okay. You're not even on here.
I was trying to show her a multiple page document, Athena, for it to upload, so we ran out of time. But I was going to try to show her a 10-page FINA and just kind of flip through the pages.
Uh-huh.
With it being a larger document, it may take more time than we had to, I don't know if it's just going to be like one page, makes it not as feasible to work with.
And so what I was concerned about is during a hearing, how are we going to see a 10-page FINA? Is it going to be one screenshot at a time? And who's going to be able to flip through? How, Elizabeth?
Because if they're on their laptop, they can share the actual document, and I think that you can scroll through it.
Say that again?
And Doug actually figured out that we can send it via chat as a PDF.
But are you sending it to everybody that's before the court or just everyone in your breakout room?
I think that we would not need to select everyone, and we would need to select who we're going to send it to individually.
And
Okay, so I have two. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Doug.
I think if you send it in the breakout room, it does not send it to the main court. I think it is contained in the breakout room. But if you put me in a breakout room, I'll test it real quick.
Okay, but also be aware that some of the participants can only participate through telephone. So like, for instance, Mr. Mullen is participating through telephonic means. So
Okay.
how are you going to get that same information to them, which is, let me put him in with Ms. Patino. 3. And so, okay, so I have 2 breakout rooms. I'm going to open it so that y'all can join and then see if you can contact the court to say, I need to move or I need time and all that good stuff. But that Starbucks was good, huh?
I can't have guilt-free Starbucks anymore.
No. Although I had a Starbucks, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
What you have? What kind? The usual?
I think I had my blonde flat white.
Mm.
Albert got it for me.
With the breve and cinnamon dolce.
It was good.
I'm still stuck on my green tea matcha. So Judge, now I'm concerned because how are they going to get a hold of
I don't
it?
know. Okay, we're gonna figure this out and we're
Yes.
gonna make it work
Okay.
if it kills me.
No, we don't need you to die, Judge. We will get it done.
I know Miss Edwards is gonna have to leave, which is fine because we're gonna need to figure it out. But that's a big deal about them contacting the court, just saying, I need more time, or I need to go over here. I need to go to speak to my client. Because if we're in the middle of a hearing, they're gonna have to wait until I finish the hearing for them to do some moving around.
Unless you throw me into the breakout rooms and I could be like, hey guys, what's going on?
Well, no, because they need to speak in private and you represent the court.
Yeah.
So you can't be all up in their business.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. I mean, even though I know you're not going to pay attention, you're just going to be there just in case you need help, but you still can't do that. Oh. It's like, okay, what are they talking about?
Yeah, I know. We don't know what's going on.
What are they talking about? Okay.
And then they have, that's another thing I'm a little concerned about, is that they have the option to leave the breakout room. So let's say you're having a hearing with other people and then they leave the breakout room, they're going to pop up in the hearing.
Well, does it mean that they pop up into the hearing, like before the court, or when you leave a breakout room, does it go to the waiting room? And if not, I'd rather, if there's a way to put that function in, I'd rather that.
Let me join the breakout room and let me see what it tells me when I leave. Give me a second.
Go to breakout room 1.
Yeah, that's the only one I have access to. Let me. Okay, it only gives me the option to leave the meeting, return to the main session, or cancel leaving the breakout room.
Okay, but the problem is that you're a co-host. Do it as Iris.
Okay, let me dial in again.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's like the court saying, yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, let me see. With my Zoom app.
Okay, it's almost 12:15.
Oh yeah, we've already gone way too long, Judge.
I'm tired.
Where is it? 96622768932. Okay, I'm gonna admit myself. And then will you assign me to breakout room number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
Okay, Elizabeth Edwards in breakout room 3 asked for help.
Ooh, awesome.
Okay, but I can't go in. You go in.
You have to send me in there, I think. Can she send you anything else?
I don't know. Let me see. What breakout room is she?
I don't-
Breakout room 3. I'm gonna send you to breakout room 3. So go
Okay.
to breakout room 3.
You sent my phone to breakout room 3?
I guess so.
I can't
I
even.
can maybe move you to breakout room 3, but I'm not going to join. You can join.
Okay, hi Elizabeth. This is Iris on my cell phone. You said you said you needed help.
Yes, so I was trying to see if you could see me. I was like raising my hand, doing a thumbs up because I can't chat with you.
Yeah, Judge was able to see that you had needed help. What did you see, Judge?
I saw Elizabeth Edwards in breakout room 3 asked for help, but
I
it's
asked for help. So I think that's the best way to let you know we're ready.
okay. But hold on one second. That's with Iris using her phone. Try it again with you as a co-host going to her and asking what they need. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay, do you need to assign this one, the one that's on the screen right now, to number 3?
I did.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Judge, I haven't checked. Join breakout room number 3. Okay. Okay.
Okay, because I'm just looking at myself, people.
They're trying to send, so what Elizabeth did is she just raised there's an option, I guess, to ask for help.
Okay, and I saw that and it popped up in my middle screen.
Because she was trying to raise her hand and all of that, but we didn't see anything.
I didn't see any
Also,
of that.
Doug sent a document to everybody in the chat.
I didn't receive that.
Okay, and yeah, he was asking if we did. So he's trying to send it to my cell phone to see how somebody who's on their phone would get it.
Okay, so when she's asking for help, I can't go in, but I let you go in just to kind of see what they need. What was she able to tell you? Just I needed more time. I needed.
Well, we were just talking about what was going on so far.
Okay, but you would have the ability clearly to get that information. And all I need to know is whether or not they're ready or they need more time.
Yes. So keep in mind, I'm gonna be on mute the whole time. So whenever you get the message, I guess we're gonna have to instant message each other in case you're having a hearing or whatever the case may be.
On IM?
Yeah. What do you think, or how else? I mean, we can do it on chat here as well. You can send me a chat privately.
Okay, what you want me to do? What kind of multitasking?
I know. It's gonna be a lot for you.
That's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the chat on my phone. Well, let me see. No, okay.
No, because I don't want you to use your personal phone. I mean, you know.
Okay, so I sent it. It should be called Summary Brewster, and it says it was successfully sent.
I got mine. Did you get it, Corey?
No, I see nothing.
Me either. I don't see anything. Nope.
Okay, so it's just laptops.
Elizabeth, what do you want?
Yeah, it doesn't work for us. It only works for laptops.
Okay, but what about the other breakout room? What are they doing?
I don't know what they're doing in the other breakout room. Are you guys ready to go back to the main session? Yeah.
about, you know what? How about if I put you into breakout room 2 and say, hey, what's going on?
Okay.
Right? Because that's what I'm right now. I'm like, oh wait, what's going on? So I'm telling you to go check it out. Do they
I
need
think
more?
everybody else on breakout room 3 is ready to go, but let me go
Well,
there.
I'm gonna keep them in there for a minute.
Okay.
Oh, I guess Mr. Doug's he got out.
Oh, wait, was I not supposed to?
No, it's okay. We were just trying, but that's the whole point. If you're in a breakout session and you have the ability to leave, if you leave, you could possibly go into the middle of a hearing if I have hearings going on while you're in there.
Right.
So I guess if I have 3, my hope is to have 3 cases set at the same time. Everybody's in a breakout room. If I have a hearing, I guess the AG just needs to make sure that their people just kind of stay in your breakout room and not leave.
Okay, and that's where we'll be coordinating with Iris, kind of raising hands and asking for help and having her jump in and out to see
I think so.
what the court needs. Okay, cool.
Right, because I want to try to hear as many cases as we possibly can. We're going to start with maybe 2. I was hoping we could do 5, but that might be too much.
Well, once we get the process down a little bit more, I think we're still in our teething phases.
Right, exactly. So Mr. Mullen is back. Mr. Mullen? And Ms. Patino. Okay. All right. How did it go? Went?
Yeah, I mean, one of the issues that we were having is that John shared the FINA, but like Viv pointed out, how can I look at it at my leisure or my convenience versus John being limited to whatever John wants me to see? Does he want me to see page 5? But what if I want to look at page 8 for a longer period of time? So I don't know if sharing, I mean, personally, I don't see, I know I can't have it my way.
Yeah, you can, girl. Yes, you can.
Well, and this is the bottom
Ask for it.
These
Ask
are
for
your
it.
cases. This is going to be your hearing. So how are you going to handle your own case? But at the same time, if you're going to admit something to the court, are you only going to give the court 1 page at a time and not the whole document? I mean, really?
I mean, so that's why I'm thinking that maybe, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's up to Elizabeth from our perspective as an agency or whoever. It's obviously not mine. But to me, it seems like you need to share the entire document ahead of time or something to where everybody can review at their own leisure. And like Lindsay pointed out, that like, whose dog is that?
That must be Miss Patino's dog. That's okay. Well, and that was, I think for me, that was the reason why I was like, okay, well, everybody's going to need to get the information because it's not like we're in court where you can flip through pages, you can make copies. So the fix to that was clearly giving everybody what they anticipate is going to be offered for evidence. I don't really know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm open to other solutions. If other lawyers have tried it and this worked and that didn't work, I mean, I'm open to anything if it works.
Can you unmute Doug? Because we tried something that almost worked.
Almost.
Yeah.
I unmuted him. He can speak.
Doug, tell him what happened with us and how it kind of worked and didn't work.
Well, we do have the ability to share documents in chat, and it will only go out to the people in the breakout room or the people you specifically select, but it only works for people operating Zoom from their laptops. So it doesn't work for your iPads and your smartphones. And I think maybe not froze.
What did you do?
Say what?
What did you do?
So if you just open up chat and you click the document on your laptop, you drag it into the message box, drop it in there, it'll upload the full document. But again, it exempts people operating on those other platforms. And so it doesn't completely solve the problem of what we do with people who are not on their laptops.
Well, and that's my issue. You're going to have a lot of pro se litigants that are just using their telephone.
Yep, they can't see anything.
So
There's chat room on the iPads. Would it not work on that one?
No, Doug tried sending a document to myself on my iPad and I didn't receive it.
And we tried Iris as well.
Yeah, I tried on my cell phone and I didn't get anything either.
So just on laptops.
So it
Yep.
seems like there has to be, because here we're talking about sharing things on Zoom, and like as Judge says, I think that we need to go back to square one, which is a lot of these people may not even have Zoom. So what's the option of sharing ahead of time such that hopefully everybody has the opportunity to view or inspect or whatever the case might be?
Well, also, if you have the ability, if your only ability to participate in a hearing is through telephonic means, then it's only going to be like, okay, well, we sent you all of these exhibits. It's going to be exhibit A. Look at, do you have, I mean, I'm just saying when you're referencing some of the things that you want to reference and you don't even have the visual, you just have the audio capability to participate in court. We're supposed to allow them to participate in court that way. So how are you going to get that same information across?
So now my client only has a phone and needs to see the document.
Yeah.
That person's going to come to court. I want my client to come to court. Now what?
Okay, well, if it's going to be a non-essential hearing, then we will reset the case.
Okay, it's an essential hearing.
If it's an essential hearing, then we will schedule it in court. Not a problem.
And who's going to be there?
I will.
Next week, who's going to be there?
I will.
And how's my client going to see the documents? Because if my client's going to be there, I'm going to go. I'm going to have to. Right. Okay.
If you're saying if it's an essential hearing and you want an in-person hearing, I am required to provide you that.
And it's because of this document issue.
So I guess it's an AG case. So is an AG going to appear in person?
I mean, I'm assuming, and this is just me talking, she can ask Elizabeth, but I'm assuming that somebody is going to have to appear.
Right, and we're talking essential cases. And those cases are going to be, right, those cases are going to be where somebody's liberty is at issue, and I am required to have an in-person hearing.
Yeah, I mean, someone's going to have to go, is, like I say, not being a decision maker, but I think it's going to have to be there. That's just my.
I would have myself and my staff there, and we would be ready to have a hearing.
I'm throwing this out because it may happen that my client only has a phone and I can't share. We're trying to do this and all of a sudden we have started and my client only has a phone and can't see the documents. And in the middle of this negotiations, I realize I got to go to court. Now what?
Well, if you have every right to have an in-person hearing, it just depends on if it's essential or non-essential.
It's essential.
Then you'll get a court date. We will stop what we're
Okay.
doing. We will get you a court date and we will make sure coordinate it so that you can have your in-person hearing. I am limiting it to no more than 10 people in a courtroom.
Because I really think that might happen, not just with my client, but it could happen with a custodial parent. She wants to see a document and she just can't.
Right. And the only determining factor would be if it's essential or non-essential as to when you will have your in-person hearing.
Okay. All right.
But I'm glad we at least got together to kind of play with this because we're starting hearings already.
Is Elizabeth with us?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Elizabeth.
I see her
Yeah,
name. Oh, she's in and out. I think she's trying to do a couple of things at the same time.
I mean, because Judge, if you recall, and Viv, you too.
What's that?
I said, if Viv, Judge, I mean, we were there, what, 3 weeks ago or so, where there were essential cases. I appeared, the court was there. Viv, you were there for your client as well. So, I mean, you know, we'll take whatever precautions we have to, but obviously somebody have to appear.
Right.
So, and in those instances, I know that we've had some issues with people entering the courtroom, the courthouse. All I can say is, you know, we will try to make sure that that information is with the guards to let those people in, because I don't want anybody turned away if we're going to have an essential in-person hearing.
For the rest of you guys, my client got sent away by the guards.
Right.
In a hearing that was about to take place. So I don't know what we're going to do about that.
You provide them with names of those people prior
They
to
won't. I talked to the guards. They won't. That's not. They're not. That's not it.
something we can do.
I didn't hear, Doug. What did you say?
That was Joe.
I think it was Mr. Mullen.
I didn't hear Joe. What did he say?
Like if there's any way that we can provide guards the names of the clients so that they can get in, but Viviana said that that wasn't possible for her. Like give them a master list.
So let's say it's that essential hearing, Georgette, and mom wants to come in. The guards aren't going to let her in. We
Okay,
got to
but
figure that out too.
What can the court do? I mean, if Iris talks to them, or does it need to be somebody else besides the court telling
I
we
don't
have
know.
hearings and we need them in the courthouse?
I'm going to leave that up to the court.
Okay.
To figure that out.
Iris, that's something we need to make sure that we convey. If we still have hearings that may be conducted in the courthouse.
Okay, I'll go down and talk to them in a little bit.
And if they need like special orders or something, just what do they need and what do they need from us?
Okay.
Now, what does my client need?
Yes, what do the parties need in order to gain access to the court, to the courtroom, to courthouse?
You know, we probably need to provide identification.
No, but I think the issue is that people are being turned away, even if they have proof that they have a court date and a court hearing at the courthouse, they're still being turned away.
See, Viv, did your client have like a hearing notice?
He put me on the phone. Then he took off, and then I show up, and they just said, no, there are no child support hearings going on. This was with Judge Adetta. There's no child support hearings going on. We call court administration, and court administration told us there are no hearings. So we're not going to let your guy in, but he had taken off by then. So that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Yes.
One other thing that I want to make sure everybody knows is I'm going to object if there's more than one AG on the screen at a hearing. Okay.
Okay.
We had a hearing, and it was, you know, it was the first time, but remember, there were two of you, Corey and Georgette. It would be no different than if we were at the bench and there were two AGs standing at the bench.
Well, I mean, can't the person announce as co-counsel?
You still wouldn't, if you were in a trial, you would not have, yes, they can, but you wouldn't have two people standing up objecting. The co-counsel sits there and says nothing. So
true.
So, I mean, if we want to do it that way, we can. You can designate a lead, but that lead is the one that I'm going to be dealing with in a hearing.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that's fair. I mean,
I agree.
Because and I agree, when it's set like this, you are before the court. You are in the courtroom. You are at the bench. So we got to treat it that way.
Right.
Okay.
So I just got off the line with security and they were saying that as long as I let them know that somebody's going to be there or they show us proof that they have a hearing, they'll call the court and verify and they'll let the parties in.
But they're going to call and you're not there.
But if it's an essential hearing, an in-person hearing, yes, we will be there.
Be here.
Oh, yeah, you will. Okay, yeah.
And they said that they don't just turn people away. They call the court and they verify No, okay.
I don't even want to, I'm gonna put myself on mute. right?
Whatever.
Okay. Don't kill a messenger. That's just what they told me.
Okay, well, we'll do our part. We'll make sure that we'll give them a heads up if it's an in-person hearing, because I don't want them to be turned away. So we'll do what we need to do.
And so just to be clear, I was cutting in and out of there for a while. So the in-person hearings are just going to be on a case by case, or how is that going to work?
Well, on an in-person hearing, for instance, we have someone who is picked up on an arrest warrant and we're not able to do a telephonic hearing. Remember, this is if you're not able to do it remotely. And it needs, because it's an essential hearing, it needs to be heard in person. So in that case, we will have an in-person hearing at the courthouse.
And just let you know.
Right. Well, but even like, let's say the public defender or any lawyer says, you know, I want an in-person hearing.
Correct.
They're not agreeing to a Zoom. Remember, you kind of have to agree to have a Zoom hearing. If they don't agree and it's an essential hearing,
Correct.
we will have an in-person hearing. I will be in court, Iris will be in court, my bailiff will be in court, and we will take the precautions. There will be no more than 10 people allowed in the courtroom.
So how much before the hearing do you want that objection filed? I got cases next week.
No, I agree. The sooner the better. I mean,
Okay.
if you really want to have that, the sooner the better. That way we can
Okay.
organize it and put it and schedule it, because I'm going to have to make sure that it's not, we don't have multiple cases on the same time. We're going to have to spread them out.
All right.
Miss
So the sooner
Edwards,
the better.
that was one of the issues, is we were trying to share documents in our breakout rooms that were several pages. And there's no way for each individual person to view it at their convenience. We had to view the document as John, the person sharing, was scrolling through it. I couldn't look at the pages I wanted to look at, or anybody else.
Right.
So it just seems that Zoom sharing of a multiple page document,
It's
or
tedious.
really of any document, may not be the most efficient way to do things. I don't know. I'm
So
just gonna.
So I guess the question is, why doesn't he just send it in the chat? Did you try that?
I didn't hear anybody. What? Did he send it in the chat? Okay.
We tried
Doug?
it. Doug?
But it was on the laptop instead of the iPad.
Well, I mean, we're not going to figure out it's not going to be a blanket thing, you guys. And so like, if you're working with a customer and they can only receive it via email, send it to them via email. If they can only receive it via, if they can get it via the chat, send it to them via the chat. The negotiation when we're in the breakout room is a negotiation. The Zoom screen share is really what I anticipated that we would use when it's for the court, because it most mimics that act of presenting an exhibit and introducing it and having everybody be able to view what you're doing. But if you guys are working in a negotiation, then you guys have to kind of think about what the best way is to share the document. So if it's a one-page document, it might be easiest to share it in a Zoom screen share. If it's a 10-page document, it might be easiest to chat it or to send it via email or to text it. I mean, there might be a lot of different options. I think we're just going to have to kind of go as we, there might not be a one solution for every situation.
But there needs to be one solution for a hearing.
For the hearing, I don't see what's wrong with the Zoom share. Is there a problem with that? If you had, like, say you were in a negotiation, you received a copy of the document prior to the hearing, and then during the hearing, we introduced it to the court. I mean, to me, that mimics the actual hearing, because the court's going to see the exhibit as the court examines it, and then you're going to have your copy, which you can go look at whatever page you want to look at.
And I would get mine ahead of time via email.
Well, however we share it with you prior to the hearing, yes.
And it's a 10-page document. How are we going to be viewing that during the hearing? Because we had some problems with how to flip from page to page.
Were you looking at an image or were you looking at that screenshot, John?
I was, I shared the entire 10-page document with Ina to see if and I could scroll through it, but it took a little time for it to upload to where it could be viewable on the screen. And then they don't have any control to look at it how they want to look at it. They can only do it under the way I control it. That's what the problem was on the other side.
Right, but if you give them their own copy, then can't they look at it at their leisure?
Right, but I think the email is the fix. Just email it to them the day before, and they can pull it up on their own computer.
I'm saying you could email it at that moment. Yesterday I was on a telephonic hearing with the court and nobody had a copy of the order. I emailed it out to everybody. I did it as we spoke. What's wrong with, I just don't see what's wrong. Like, if you're having a hearing or a negotiation, why don't you just send it to them if that doesn't work what you're doing?
Right, yeah, just email it to them, right, is what you're saying?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Email.
Yes,
Dude,
that's gonna be the
well,
easiest. Because how are you gonna get it to me?
Whatever works. Within our limitations, you all know, we don't use Dropbox, when to send things encrypted, all those, rules still apply, but you should do whatever you need to do to get the information to the person. So that's going to vary based on the circumstances.
That's just it. I don't think it can vary. I think we need to have a set rule for these hearings. I'm not worried about negotiations, but the hearings have to be a set way.
So the hearings, I would think we would use the Zoom screen share.
And the problem with the screen share is we're back to multiple pages being a problem with regards to who's controlling the screen share. I have an idea.
Because
I
want to bring your attention to this document.
Because I have an interview right now. So I'm going to have to get off in the next, 5 minutes or so. So we can certainly revisit this issue.
We have hearings in the next few days. I have an idea. If they email everything to you, Judge, then you screen share it. No, that's not good. Never mind.
It's the same thing.
Right, you're in control. The problem is you're seeing a document that hasn't been admitted into evidence.
Well, but it's no different when you have genetic test results already e-filed.
That's different. I think that's different than a FINA.
Well, and what about when it's attached to the pleading?
That's different too. You can see what's attached to the pleading. What I'm saying is if the AG emails you the FINA, you judge ahead of time.
Right.
Before it has been admitted into evidence, then you are seeing something before it's been admitted.
Why would I even look at it if it has not been admitted?
Because somebody needs to be in control of how to turn the pages, is how silly this is.
Oh, and you want the court to be the one in charge of turning the pages?
I don't know now.
Well, because I don't know if I like that idea, because if it's your exhibit, you're in control, not the court.
All right. So Doug, what we did, you would be in control of. And you would have emailed me ahead of time. And you're flipping through the screen at the hearing. I should be able to see it from my email attachment.
Yes, you should.
Okay.
Judge?
Go ahead.
Can you want us to, before we leave, are we going to be e-filing the exhibits to you?
What John is saying, Judge, is that their last instruction from Elizabeth was to e-file the documents. And I don't think that's proper.
So, and just out of curiosity, if there's other courts that are doing the same thing, how are they getting the evidence in?
Through Dropbox.
No, and I like Dropbox.
but they can't use Dropbox.
The AGs can't use Dropbox. Is that what you're saying?
Right. We can't create an account. We would have to upload the documents to a link. So we can do that. I have one region that's doing that, but you would have to do that by uploading the link for us.
Judge, could you talk to Judge Ainsa at the CPS court? Because we've had many hearings already where we look at documents that are sent through Dropbox. Maybe if you
Well,
talk to him.
the Dropbox option was my first option, and just trying to work with what the AGs have, because they're the ones that file everything in my court. I'm trying to work with the options that they have.
I don't know that the county attorneys has the Dropbox. I don't know how it's set up. I don't know. I don't have a Dropbox account. All I know is I tap a link and there it is.
So why can't we try it?
I don't have I'm gonna go on mute real quick.
So why can't we try the Dropbox option?
We can, you just have to create the link for us to upload into.
Okay, Iris, is that something that we can try? I mean, we won't know what works best unless we try some of these options.
We can definitely try.
Okay.
I just don't know if it's gonna have to, because you're gonna make it viewable to everybody on the case.
Well, that's the whole point, that it gets dropped in there so that people have access to it.
So I'm gonna need email addresses. Once again, we're gonna.
And that's okay. And then that would be an issue for us.
Why?
Because we don't have that. The AGs would have to give us that information.
The email addresses?
All right, I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, for the mom. I see.
Yeah, I don't have that information.
I see.
Which
Okay,
is my,
Elizabeth.
with any of it, all of this also, because I don't always have that, you know?
Right.
So anyway, we can certainly work through this more. I just have to run. I have an 2 minutes.
Understood. We'll work through this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point, you know, is to hear the cases we can. And if we can't, they will get reset. But we're talking, instead of weeks, they'll be months.
And I'll send Iris the information I have on Dropbox and our limitations on that later this afternoon.
Okay. All righty. Anything else? We'll make it work. You know, we just got to do it a different way. We'll figure it out.
Judge, if I may,
Yes, sir.
we've got a couple of hearings in front of you tomorrow. I don't anticipate there's going to be big knockdown, drag out fights, but just the same, I would like to give the court, you know, the copies of the FINA and TDCJ stuff ahead of time.
You can email them.
Email? Okay, I'll just shoot them over to Iris.
And then,
Doug, actually, there's a court email. It's where you
Yes.
send them to yes, thank you.
The Title 4D number
You were
2.
talking. I was like, yeah, you were talking, Viviana?
yeah, I'm just saying that Mullen has 2 hearings on Wednesday.
Okay.
Thursday. We had 2 Wednesday and 1 Thursday.
And then I have one on Wednesday.
Okay. Let's have fun. Well, I have court all week, so we're gonna get through it.
Sounds good.
Stay positive. All righty, thank you. We'll work
right.
together.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'll be safe. Be well.
Bye, Judge. Thank you.
Bye.
How do I hang up?
Thank you.